Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Marie. How are you?
I'm great. We're here again. What episode number is it?
Episode 24 of What to Read This Weekend, our video web series where we share a few library books on a theme of what to read this weekend. We will share our um, episodes Fridays at 3 p.m. on YouTube and IGTV. What's this week's theme, Marie?
Well, it's a very special theme. It's the Lunar New Year. And here in New York, we have that day off. So we're excited. And I think you say Gong Hei Fat Choi, but I am not good at Chinese inflection. So please excuse me if it sounds really bad.
It's the
Happy New
year
Year.
It is the year of the ox
It
starting
is.
today, February 12th. Actually, that's tomorrow. We record a day
Mhm.
early. I have my very exclusive money envelope ready to go. What books are we sharing about today, Marie?
Oh, we have so many interesting books. We have Stargazing. We have The Surprising Power of a Good Dumpling, Front Deaths, and Superman Smashes the Klan.
Yeah, all featuring Chinese or Chinese American characters and authors.
Yes, indeed.
So, our first book is Stargazing by Jen Wang. And this is a graphic novel about Christine and Moon. They're two young girls who live in a Chinese American neighborhood. Moon and her mom actually moved to the carriage house. It's like a small house behind Christine's house. And at first, Christine thinks that Moon is a little bit different. Everything that really Christine is not. Moon is impulsive, confident. She's a Buddhist, a vegetarian, but she also sometimes gets really angry and beats people up. But that comes back around later. Um, as time goes on, Christine kind of learns how to relax and loosen up, and she and Moon become really close friends, maybe even best friends. And then something really terrible happens, and has to be um, Christine has to be the good friend that Moon has always been for her. So I really love this book because I feel like it showed so many different ways of being Asian American or Chinese American. There's no one right way. The way that Moon um, identified her background was different than how Christine did, and they really learned from each other. I also love that this story stemmed from Jen Wang's own life experiences. In the back, there's an author's note with some images of her childhood, which I also just really enjoyed and loved. So, this was a great graphic novel. I think could range anywhere from elementary through high school. I think even high schoolers would appreciate this story.
So this is The Surprising Power of a Good Dumpling. Um, it is a story that takes place in Australia. And so Anna is a Chinese Australian teenager. She has three siblings. She cares for her two siblings, Lily and Michael. Lily's 13, Michael's 5. And her family owns a Chinese restaurant. And her father often stays at the Chinese restaurant and sleeps above the Chinese restaurant as opposed to coming home. And part of that is because Anna's mother's behavior is very erratic and paranoid. Um, and so one day she might be present and take them, out for a fun time. And then the next day she is shaking them awake in their bed, accusing them of betraying her. And on the very worst days, Anna's mom is basically catatonic in her bed. So Anna, because her father is so absent, Anna is left to care for her mother and her brother and sister. This leads to the next part. She definitely feels alienated because the schoolmates that she has are very high achieving. It appears that they are richer, and she just doesn't feel like she often gets made fun of for not living up to the Asian stereotype. So what she does, thinking this will help things, is she starts going to help out at the restaurant. And she thinks she's helping her family and bringing them closer together. And that's where you get a little romantic twist, because she meets Rory, who also has some secrets of his own that he is hiding. This book does a really wonderful job about portraying her mom's mental illness and her depression. And the episodes that she has are very authentic. They're sometimes heartrending, but it does really show how kids that have family members that are suffering really yearn for normality. And I found that the portrayal of mental illness and depression really rang true for me. That is all I have to say on this book now.
The next book is Front Desk. So this is Mia Tang, and she's sitting at the front desk of her family's motel. They manage this motel and they actually also live there. And every day her parents, who are Chinese immigrants, do the general management of the hotel. They clean the rooms, they make sure everyone is settled, and Mia manages the front desk, as the title says. They are also keeping a big secret from the owner of the hotel. They're letting immigrant families stay or hide in the hotel rooms that are not occupied. And they're making sure that the owner doesn't find out. Like the book that you just shared, Marie, Mia also struggles with her parents' expectations. They really want her to focus on math, even though she wants to focus on English. And they're worried that she shouldn't be focusing on English because it's not her first language, but she just really wants to be a writer. I love that this middle grade novel does an amazing job of building empathy of all types of immigrant stories, for all types of people's experiences. It talks about overcoming adversity and also reaching for your dreams. Like Stargazing, this book by Kelly Yang is based on her own experiences growing up, and it's actually a trilogy. The second book has already come out. It is called Three Keys, and the third book, Room to Dream, comes out this year in 2021. You can get books 1 and 2 on Sora, and you can also find Kelly Yang's young adult book, Parachutes, there as well.
Right. So we have Superman Smashes the Klan, by a very favorite graphic artist in my library, Gene Yang. I don't know if he's this popular with you. The books always go missing.
Yes, definitely.
Long ago, Superman has been an iconic character for much longer than most of us perhaps remember. In the 1940s, there was this like Superman radio show called The Adventures of Superman. And this graphic novel is based on one of the storylines from that show. So there are many familiar characters from the Superman world. You have Jimmy and you have Lois Lane, but the majority of the story is told from Roberta Leigh's perspective. She's about 13-ish. They moved from the Leigh family, moved from Chinatown to Metropolis proper for Dr. Leigh to take his very fancy job. And Roberta definitely struggles to fit in. She is just she's not what people expect, but she is very observant, and this becomes a very important part of the story. Basically, though, there is evil brewing, and it is the clan who targets the Leigh family. With there's racial slurs, and then eventually it escalates into acts of terrorism, burning a cross on her lawn. Um, but with the help of Roberta and the Daily Planet and Superman, they're able to not only expose who is responsible, but they're also able to expose the power, the people behind the clan that let them continue. So I thought that was very optimistic. One thing that I think this book did really cleverly is that, Superman technically is an immigrant too, because he's an alien. And in early Superman novels, he did not know his backstory. So he's struggling with who he is and what he is. And this is also part of the story. Um, the book is also very much about the immigrant experience and fighting your own personal prejudice to overcome and understanding who you are. There's like several examples of that. I love the print or the way the comic book looks, because it looks very old-timey to me. It looks like the comics I used to get when I was like 8. And it's also got, whenever they use the Cantonese language, that bubble is in red. So you know that they are supposed to be speaking a different language. So I really enjoyed it.
Marie, did you read Dragon Hoops?
I did read Dragon Hoops.
So in Dragon Hoops, I was reading a review, does he get offered the job to write this book in Dragon Hoops?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I like the connection between like two of his books. They're like actually, I don't know. It's like breaks the
it was fun. It's like
fourth wall.
This book really, I mean, it seems like it's very simple, but it has like very complex explorations. So it was a good graphic novel. Read it.
Yeah. All of our books that we shared today are available on Sora or on Libby with your public library card. We also just wanted to acknowledge that this week in particular, there have been some news articles about anti-Asian sentiments and attacks. And we just wanted to specifically share these books because we believe that books can provide, as Redeemed Sims Bishop would say, mirrors, windows, and sliding glass doors, and really help teach people from all walks of life empathy. So did you want to share anything about that, Marie?
No, Rachel, you did a great job summing up my feelings. I wish I lived in a world where we could just read these books and enjoy them, and they didn't hold a lesson that we needed to learn. But I'm glad they're here to show us the way and provide us some things to think about.
Yeah, and also if you're an educator, ways to talk about these topics with your kids. So thanks for joining us. You can find our show notes at bit.ly/WTRTW2020. We are going to take a break for next week's February break here in New York City. And the week after that, we will come back with our books that have made it to the screen. So see you next time.